Hey, it's Dave Summers. I'm back here for the greatest supply chain challenge in history, episode 12. Um, and I'm here with Sandy. Sandy Vosk is the owner and founder of Advantage Technology Solutions, close friend of mine. I consider him to be a mentor in many respects. Sandy, great to see you again. I know you want to talk today about a couple of interesting things. In particular, you want to share a little bit about Amazon and just personal perspectives on Amazon. I became a member, oh my goodness, probably a year into their actual lifespan as a company, and I bought innumerable books, most of them very techy books or user interface related books that I couldn't get in a bookstore. So I've been watching their ride through this whole growth and expansion as an unbelievable global powerhouse. But I know you have some unique perspectives and observations about Amazon from a supply chain innovation perspective. Do you mind just talking to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. I think, with episode 12, it's an opportunity for us to kind of shift the focus a little bit of the program. Certainly in the United States, we've now moved from a supply issue to demand issues, and just making sure that people want the vaccine. We have more than enough. That's not the same on a global basis. Obviously, India, South America is suffering, and this is a long way from being done. But in this process, I love quotes, and Napoleon Hill, in every adversity, there's a seed of an equal or greater benefit. And in that regard, how are companies using innovation, to come out of the pandemic? And certainly when it comes to innovation, Amazon sets the bar. They're the leader. So in that regard, I thought it was really interesting. I found out from a colleague a couple of weeks ago um, that they've just reintroduced virtual tours. I was fortunate as a board member of the Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals to lead facility tours where you can go and visit
Mm-hmm.
their fulfillment centers.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you can't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go, I mean, you see the speed, you see the
Mm-hmm.
size, and you really feel what they're doing. But doing it virtually, just giving them kudos to this. I always say you're always as strong as your weakest link. On their facility tours, you couldn't hear through the headphones. You just couldn't hear clearly
Mm-hmm.
because of Wi-Fi. You had to be very close to the guide.
Mm-hmm.
On the virtual tour, you heard perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And they demonstrated end to end, from receiving product to handling product to shipping product, how innovative they are in leveraging people, process, and technology.
Mm-hmm.
And, have they shifted? Of course, they've had to shift in the pandemic. They've added 48 million ounces of hand sanitizer to be distributed, 93 million sanitizing sprays and wipes,
Mm-hmm.
31,000 thermometers, and uh, over 1,100 thermal cameras to just make sure their employees are safe.
Mm-hmm.
And, in leveraging technology, just one thing that I thought was amazing, they were showing conveyors coming right to the end, to the loading dock, where, normally you would have operators load a truck.
Mm-hmm.
And they would, before the pandemic, they'd have 4 people loading a truck. You can't put 4 people in a truck anymore. So they have these conveyors that go into the truck, and it's delivering cases to the guys, and they're, or pallets, and they're purposely placing it
Mm-hmm.
so optimally one person can do, not replacing 4, but they're using people
Sure.
differently, smarter. So, it's just so good.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things I want to make sure we do is put up the link
Mm-hmm.
and share with the audience, because anyone can take this virtual tour. And one of the greatest things in the virtual tour, if you love like rides and stuff, they have like a simulation where you're taking a ride in a tote
Mm-hmm.
down the conveyor. And that was cool. I know like everybody's going to really, really love that.
Exactly.
But, they use the 4, they use 4 facilities and 4 guides and really show you what they're doing. They're not going to show you the intellectual property of the systems,
Mm-hmm.
but you could really see what they're doing and how you might emulate or model. I'll give you a couple of things, that just come to mind. One is that people more often than not are not getting products being delivered to people,
Mm-hmm.
especially in picking. People are at stations or packing and products delivered to them. They do what they do efficiently, and then it's moved to the next step in the process. Not over automation. You don't
Right.
see drones flying all over,
Yeah.
this million square foot. Purposefully used technology. So I really like it. I think they're the
Mm-hmm.
best at it. And there's some areas of opportunity that I think any company, whether you're in the supply chain industry or not,
Mm-hmm.
can emulate.
Okay. Well, can you walk us through that in lieu of the questions you normally do? Let's approach this areas of opportunity. Why don't you share those with us?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Thanks so much. So the first area is space utilization. And right now we have a supply chain crisis of getting certain products into the country. There aren't enough containers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lack of warehouse space. So where you put products in a warehouse are important. In terms of what you keep, where you place it, for labor, etc. So Amazon walks you through how they purposefully place all their products. They don't put all the headphones in one area,
Mm-hmm.
all the shirts in one
Mm-hmm.
area. As stuff comes in, they could put it in a slot, they put it there. They mirror it on two sides of the warehouse
Mm-hmm.
to minimize the time it takes for people to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Really, really smart.
Mm-hmm.
The second area is not just the use of robotics, which they show you. You see the Kiva robots moving around storage containers, but also just basics in barcode scanning. And I can't tell you how many companies still don't even use handheld scanning effectively.
Mm-hmm.
So, you want to talk more about it? I'll give you a couple of examples, really brilliant examples where I think that
Sure.
comes to
Sure. If
play.
you can give us a couple short examples, sure.
So one is, people think robots and all the sophisticated artificial intelligence and yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
They're using two-dimensional barcodes on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing enough
Mm-hmm.
because usually forklifts or whatever run over them and destroy them. But they're all going in like
Mm-hmm.
streets and avenues in a cage and manipulated where they know where every item is in every bin and every storage container at
Mm-hmm.
all times. And using just really 1D
Mm-hmm.
barcodes,
Mm-hmm.
the oldest type of simple little barcode
Sure.
on the bin
Mm-hmm.
and 2D on the floor.
Right.
So really simple. Also, making it easy for people. They pick things up, they hold it under a
Mm-hmm.
giant scanner
Mm-hmm.
rather than having to find it and keep
Sure.
it. So ergonomics,
Sure.
speed, efficiency, smart. I really think, and people can emulate that in their own environments. Where could you use technology more efficiently? The third one I got for you is a fellow software developer, and and I have challenges with some of the software companies today, especially when it comes to designing for mobility for people using different size devices and
Mm-hmm.
and what they do. I don't know. We've had a couple of conversations on
Sure.
old school
Yeah.
development
Yeah.
versus new
Back in the
school,
day. Exactly.
but I'll give you a clear example of one that's just so simple and smart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm dealing with warehouse management software companies right now
Mm-hmm.
on functions related to just picking. So somebody could scan a drum with a serial number on a pallet.
Mm-hmm.
Most it could be is 1 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Still complicated process,
Mm-hmm.
right? But Amazon, they make it really simple for their employees. There's an item,
Mm-hmm.
gives you a bin to pick from,
Mm-hmm.
a picture of what you're looking for,
Sure.
and a description of it.
That's
Sweet deal.
fantastic. That's
And
fantastic.
boom. And they even have one of the things I thought was really cool. I hadn't seen this before. I've seen pick to light with his light, but they even have this now on the containers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the bins, in the storage bins.
Sure.
So it's even showing the operator which bin to go to, which item to pick. They hold it up, validates, and boom.
That's
So just
excellent. That's excellent. Sandy, we've run out of time here. This is interesting stuff. I would actually drive the people who are watching to pursue these areas of opportunity that you've mentioned, and also to email you at your email address, which is on the screen here, to follow up with you. It's great to see you. I look forward to our next episode.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Dave. Have a great day and a great week.
You take care.